Okay, guys, let's begin. I think most of the people are here. Take your seat, and then yeah, we'll continue with this very nice General Assembly. Let's go.
Stuff about the name tags and
Already?
working group materials. Yeah, also the
Okay, come on, guys, take your seat. Take your seat.
yeah, so maybe I just think it.
Okay, please pay attention. Be silent. Yes. Almost there. Okay. Before we start with the next part, first, did everyone enjoy their parallel sessions? Woo! Yeah. Okay, amazing. That's very nice to hear. Yeah, before we start, guys, please listen up. This is important. Yes. Two announcements. One is regarding punishments, or mostly the name tags and the Steam flags. Please send it to Hannes on Google Chat if you still want people to get punished. So there are a lot of name tags, random flags. You see them in different kind of chats. If you send it to Hannes, we actually know who needs to get punished. Then one more thing. I think the university rules were quite clear. I don't want to see anyone with alcohol around the university area. To be honest, I'm the last person that will complain about alcohol, but don't do it against the university rules. So no chugging competitions in front of the door of the university building. That's simply not acceptable. So I don't want to see anyone drinking. I don't care if you do it anywhere else, in any kind of way. If I don't see it, fine, but not in the university, okay? Thank you. Then we can move on. It's very nice that we start with our first team. We have members and reports. So in this area, we will talk more about our local groups. We also have some nice reports focused on education, on activities. But let's start with agenda point 14 again. So I open agenda point 14, local group status and requirements. And I would like to call to the stage Milutin Miljanic.
You'll be seeing a lot of me in the next hour. We'll be talking a lot about members, and except for being the president, I'm also leader of the members committee. And when I'm standing in front of you like this, to avoid confusion, I am representing members committee, and when I'm wearing a jacket, I am the president. So, local group requirements. We'll go quickly over it. Who was in the CM prep session before this has covered it. Why do we have them? To motivate local groups, to communicate what Esteem expects from its members, that there must be some form of requirements and standards for the network to fulfill, but also to motivate people to organize events, to attend events, to inform the council of the state of the network and state of other local groups. As one of our core values is to encourage participation with requirements of traveling. We are motivating local groups to travel and participate, and to begin a support strategy through regional coordinators and local group support system. What are the requirements for local group, for full members? To be a legal entity, to organize at least one event in a one-year period, as stated in the event agenda of Esteem, to have at least 5 different students associated with the group participate in events as stated in the event agenda of Esteem, including council meetings, have at least one representative present at least every second council meeting, to respond to all the emails from the board which state that the reply is required, and have attended at least one event as stated in the event agenda of Esteem other than council meeting. Maybe sound a little bit complicated, but it's not as such. To summarize, to be a legal entity, to organize at least one offline event in a year, to have at least 5 travelers, to at least one event other than a council meeting, and to have delegates at least every second council meeting, and to reply to all the emails that the board says are required. What happens if a local group doesn't fulfill the requirements? Notice of warning is sent 28 days before every council meeting. If a member group fails to meet any of the requirements, the member group shall receive a written warning. 1 warning per council meeting, no matter the number of requirements unfulfilled. So for example, if a local group did not have enough travelers and did not organize an event in the past 12 months, it is 1 warning. And if it's just one event not organized, it's still 1 warning. And we're counting consecutive warnings. 3 consecutive council meetings with warnings is a proposal for exclusion. So, what is the current status? Local group requirement to organize at least 1 event in a 1-year period, as stated in the event agenda of esteem, not fulfilled by the following local groups: Dortmund, Kaiserslautern, Kiev, Milan, Minsk, Moscow, St. Petersburg, Siegen, Targu-Mureș, and Vasa. Have at least 5 different students associated with the group participate in events as stated in the event agenda of esteem, including council meetings, unfulfilled by 4 local groups: Coimbra, Dortmund, Milan, and Warsaw. Have at least 1 representative present at every second council meeting, unfulfilled by 3 local groups: Delft, Milan, and Zagreb. And finally, have attended at least 1 offline event as stated in the event agenda of esteem other than a council meeting, unfulfilled by local group Milan. This is a summary of all the warnings per local group. In brackets, you have number of unfulfilled warnings, and in a column next to it, the consecutive warning received by that local group. We have multiple local groups receiving their first consecutive warning, a few of them with their second, and local group Warsaw with their third, well, more even, consecutive warning being proposed for exclusion today. They will have a presentation soon. Thank you. Questions?
So first Maria, and then I also see a question over there. We already have a microphone over there.
Maria Bogarcic, local group Belgrade. When you say events for the local groups, you said you were supposed to organize at least 1, right?
At least 1 offline event in a 1-year period.
Offline, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
There are exceptions, but they have to be voted upon.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, then we can go to Chris. There.
Chris Vegas, local group Gdansk. I have a question because we are having quite a lot of warnings this time around, and I would like to ask the board if the current version of the requirements, like, do you believe it explains what do we expect from the local groups in a right way, or are some sort of adjustments to them something on your radar?
It does seem that there is a lot of warnings. Never mind the slide. But actually, the warnings are not in such critical amount as post-COVID the first 2 years. So we are doing better and better. And especially after the local groups are being researched about possible warnings around a month and a half, 2 months before the CM, they become more aware, and multiple local groups have fulfilled all the requirements in the past 2 months.
Okay, any other questions? All clear. Okay, thank you, Militin. And with that, I can close agenda point 14, local group status and requirements. Then we go to agenda point 15. Oh, sorry. I reopen again agenda point 14. We will look at the proposal to overrule the local group requirements for local groups affected by severe external factors, and therefore we will have a voting. So I would like to have the voting committee on stage. So then you present. So now it's just the presentation. Sorry, there will just be another presentation. Voting committee will be later. I see another question over there. First, let's have a question, and then we have another presentation, and then we will look at the voting.
Sorry, I was not sure about asking this.
Can you please speak a little bit more in the microphone?
I'm Yiğit from LXIX Economy. For example, we're trying to organize an event, and somehow it cancelled. For example, not enough applicants or something like that. What will happen?
Well, if that's the only event in the past 12 months, it does not count as an organized event if it was cancelled. Only the events that have happened count.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now indeed we have another presentation by Milutin, which explains the proposal a bit better. And voting will be closed, so no need for the voting committee to be on stage. Okay?
Thank you, Max. Okay. We're having the first board proposal of this council meeting, and it is related to the membership requirements and the local group requirements that I have mentioned a moment ago in the previous presentation. And this is the official quote from the membership regulations. It turns out there's a mistake from me, membership regulations, not membership requirements. But this is the official wording of the membership regulations of the requirements for local groups. There is one point over here that we would like to propose to be overruled for specific local groups. Here's how and why. This specific one, to organize at least one event in 1 year period, as stated in the event agenda of STEAM. A little bit of a background of this proposal. Since February 2022, local groups Kiev, Minsk, Moscow, and St. Petersburg have been affected by the war in Ukraine and political turmoil in their countries. Because of that, PowerPoint has been playing with us a little bit. Can you click? One of the outcomes of the turmoil was that the local groups are not in a suitable state to organize any offline events in their cities. So, since okay, here it is. In the 65th Council meeting in Istanbul Yildiz in autumn 2022, the 33rd Board for the first time proposed to overrule these local group requirements for the four stated local groups due to the effects that affected them. At every Council meeting since then, the Board has proposed the same proposal in more or less the same way. What has been a bit different is which exactly local group requirements have been proposed to be overruled based on what the local groups have fulfilled in the meantime. So this is a little bit different because this is the first time Okay, I'm going to try to do the rest verbally until they fix it up. So there's a big important difference this time. Although the severe external factors affecting these four local groups, all four local groups have managed to fulfill all of the local group requirements except the one to organize the event. In the previous times, due to not just not being able for the rest of us to travel there easily, for them it was not so easy to travel elsewhere. But they have proven their motivation and dedication to the network and have managed to fulfill the traveling requirements and to have delegates in the past 2 council meetings. Yes, it's working. Okay, perfect. PowerPoint is working. So, the official wording of the board proposal is to overrule the membership requirement 4.2. The exact point, organize at least 1 event in 1-year period as stated in the event agenda of Esteem. If the proposal gets accepted, this requirement will be overruled for local groups Kiev, Minsk, Moscow, and St. Petersburg. And this will be the counting of the requirements if the proposal is accepted. If the proposal does not get accepted, there's a typo on the top, sorry. The membership requirements will not be overruled for local groups Kiev, Minsk, Moscow, and St. Petersburg, and will be in this situation if the proposal is rejected. Questions?
Okay, let's see. I think we start with the delegate over there, and then Sebastian is the second one, and Adrian will be the third one. Let's start with the delegate.
Jonathan Püttmann, LG Kaiserslautern. Why do you think it's the best way to do only one voting for all the local groups, even though the situation in Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia are completely different?
Even though the situations are different, the specific reasonings why they have found in these situations are possibly different. We believe that there is no reason to separate them, as all 4 local groups and their members have proven their motivation to be in the network and dedication and have fulfilled all other membership requirements. And even though the situations may be different, the effects are still the same.
Sebastian Stark, LG Berlin. You said it's a bit different this time, the difference being that only one of the requirement is overruled? Okay, because I thought there was going to be a difference. Thank you.
Adrian from Karlsruhe. This is slightly off topic, but because you mentioned local group Minsk, there have been some rumors that the local group has been taken apart by the government or something. Can you please clear up the confusion and tell us the actual situation of local group Minsk?
As mentioned by Jonathan, the effects, the reasonings for the effects and situations in these local groups are different, but the effects are the same. Minsk has not been directly affected by the war. However, the political situation in the country has impacted the local group to organize activities and events in a regular manner and publicly. We are in contact with the local group trying to find the solutions and possible outcomes. However, they keep being dedicated to the network and active, and the situation over there is stable.
Can I ask a bad question? Okay, sorry, you didn't really answer my question. My question is, can you please inform the council of what you are aware of the current situation of LG Minsk? So this is besides this voting, this is like, please update us on what is happening with them. Because there have been rumors, and if those are untrue, please clear up the confusion.
I just need to check something. Lucia will answer this one on my behalf.
So yes, hello. There has been recently a situation that was brought to our mind regarding the state of the local group and some questions regarding the legality, meaning in the country of Belarus. We are investigating the situation and working closely with the Northeast Regional Coordinator, who is responsible for the local group. We are investigating it. We were trying to see what would be the best solution for this council meeting, since making a decision on something this sensitive should not be rushed. But the conclusion was from our side, if we propose them separately regarding the legality issue, then we would have to do that for multiple local groups who are for different reasons questionable in legality. So that's the most honest answer we can currently provide, but there will be updates when we also know, because it wouldn't be the best decision to just say without confirming. No problem.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that question as well. That was very nice. If there are no other questions, we can actually now close the agenda point. My apologies. And we will vote indeed on this later on in closed voting. Yeah. Closed voting tomorrow. So with that, I will close agenda point 14, local group status and requirements. And with the next, oh. And with the next strike of the gavel, I open agenda point 15, guests and observers. Milutin. I would like to invite Milutin again on stage.
And observers. Let's take a quick look into the local groups that are not yet members and how does that work. We have 3 levels of membership in Esteem for local groups: guests, observers, and full members. We will now go a little bit through what are the expectations, obligations, and rights of every one of those, and through the guests and observers that we currently have in the network. As guests, we have Baku and Sarajevo local groups. For the first time, Sarajevo in this council meeting, but they'll have a presentation of this. As observers, we have local groups Lausanne and local group Niš. So, what are the expectations of guest groups? The newest one to join the network, the first touch that they have. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna watch it here on the screen until it appears over there. But they have a right to participate in Esteem events. They have rights to have the representatives, delegates at the council meetings, and they have request observership status after meeting all of the requirements, which are the next slide. However, they do have restrictions as well. Only legal entities are allowed to organize events, and they do not have the voting rights at council meetings. The requirements that they have to fulfill in order to apply for observership are to be a legal entity, to have at least 3 different students associated with the group participate in events as stated in the event agenda, have attended at least 5 events, have at least 1 student associated with the group participate in at least 1 event that's not council meeting, and have at least 1 representative every other council meeting. This might sound familiar because this is almost the same requirements as we have for full members, just different numbers, a little bit lower numbers until they grow big and strong enough. So we have 2 guest groups in the network, as I mentioned. One is local group Baku. Sadly, they were unable to send delegates to this council meeting. They send their their sorriness, but they will join us in Calabria to all of their power and might. They have full university support and cooperation with them. They are motivated, full of new young esteemers over there, growing strong and growing fast. And there is a big need and demand for an organization such as Esteem at their university. They have been a guest group since council meeting Aveiro in the spring, and they will be organizing their first event next month, board meeting 3. Follow us on social media to see how it looks like over there. New local group Sarajevo, welcome back to the network. We had a local group in Sarajevo in the past in Esteem, but it was a different university. They never reached the status of the full membership. However, we are optimistic this time. They have strong support from IEM professors at their faculty and university. They're very motivated for organizing events. They have already organized board meeting 5 in July and are planning to organize an exchange soon. And Sarajevo is a city in Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is a convergence of many different cultures. And this is their first council meeting, as I've mentioned, but they have joined the network around the time of council meeting Aveiro, but were unable to get ready enough to attend that CM. Expectations for observer local groups when they reach that level is to participate in STEAM events, have 2 representatives in council meetings, organize events other than council meetings, request observership status after meeting the requirements. They do have restrictions as well. Projects established with IRs, to not go too much into details, you can read internal regulations, and they do not have the voting rights at the GA. Requirements for membership, we have gone through this in the previous presentation for warnings. It's the same, and we currently have 2 observer groups in the network. We have local group Lausanne. They have been an observer since council meeting in Porto, 66th council meeting. The events to organize there are hard because Switzerland is an expensive country. They are a legal entity, and they are planning on local level some activities in order to survive. Local group Niche, an observer. Applied for observership in the same council meeting in Porto, received that status upon good voting results. Organized a lot of events. Just this year, they organized a regional coordination meeting, an exchange with Istanbul ITU, board meeting 1, and next month they will organize another event. They have 8 travels with 9 travelers, and their legal documentation is completed, and overall state is good.
Militant, please wrap it up. Oh, that wasn't. Oh, nice. Then, before we have question time, I would love to also invite Alan Maslar on stage for the presentation about welcoming LG Sarajevo.
Mr. Dunn. Hi everyone, my name is Alen Maslar and I'm today speaking you to as a representative of LG Sarajevo. So, as you all know, this is our first CM, so let's go. I'm soon to be a mechanical engineer, only 2 exams remaining. I'm one of the co-founders of LG Sarajevo, former basketball player and passionate about sports, traveling, hiking, and learning new things. This is a little bit about me. What's happening? So this is a little bit about city of Sarajevo. So, like Sarajevo is the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm gonna skip the historical part. The most basic thing about Sarajevo is like the the First World War started in Sarajevo with the assassination of Austro-Hungarian Archduke. Sarajevo is also well known for its history, for its blend of histories, and etc., etc. So those are some pictures of city. So Sarajevo is also famous for its Winter Olympics in the 1984, as you can see. So those are the Olympic mountains that are really, really close to the city, like in half an hour drive. You can go skiing, you can go whatever you like, hiking. And now about University of Sarajevo. I would like to say that University of Sarajevo is established in 1949, is the oldest university in Sarajevo and in Bosnia and the largest university. So it has like over 30,000 students enrolled, and it has like all types of the faculties. This is about mechanical faculty of the mechanical engineering. It's established in 1958. Is one of the oldest technical faculties in Bosnia, known for contribution to industrial and technology development of Bosnia, and also it has a bachelor, master's, and doctoral programs in mechanical engineering. It also has like manufacturing and production, energy, mechatronics and robotics, and especially industrial engineering and management. Now a little bit about local group of Sarajevo. It is founded this year. Currently, like we organizing potential exchanges, organized board meeting, 5th board meeting this summer. And our members participated in the Balkan Regional Coordination meeting in Niš and also in the CM. So those are, besides me, other local group founders. Armin, who is also our group's LR, Nurjihan, Armin, and Vedad. So for the future plans, we plan to become a legal entity. We continue being active as a local group in the network, recruit more members, which is, I can say, really, really hard, and organize large-scale events. And now a little bit more for the foodies. So Bosnia is also really, really famous for its food, as you can see. A little bit of the Sarajevo nightlife. So Sarajevo is also famous for its film festival, which is one of the largest in Europe and the largest on the Balkans. Like you can see, it has like turbulent nightlife, especially during the film festival, which is held in like every year in August. And thank you. Like if you have any other questions, you can reach me on any social network. There's a QR for the LinkedIn, and like you can write it on a Google chat, whatever you like. Thank you very much.
Alan, you can stay on stage. We now have combined question time for Militon and Alan. Unfortunately, we're a bit out of time, so I can only give you 2 questions. But yeah, who has any questions at the moment? I see Thomas over there. Can someone please give him a
Sorry
mic?
that I left the stage. I didn't know about the question part.
No worries, no worries.
Hi, I'm Thomas Evouw from LG Eindhoven. You told in your presentation, you said that recruiting members is really difficult at the moment.
Yeah.
Could you maybe explain that a bit more?
Well, like, I mean, it's not that difficult, but I really thought that it would be easier. Like, we only have 5 members by now, but 5 active members who are really doing something. Besides that, we have like 20 to 30 members, but they are only reading the messages or something like that. So I personally thought that people would be much more interested. So I will give my best after the CM to spread the news about the S-team. So, yeah.
Tommy, do you still have a 3? Then we first have to go to Tommy. Sorry, I can take only one more question. Yeah, it's not that necessary. Just take the 3, Tommy. Very fair point. I will repeat it. Thanks a lot, Tommy. If you have a question, please stand up and don't sit down again. Just stand until you have asked your question. We will take this last question, okay? Thanks, Tommy.
Orpheus Jozos, representing LXIX. We would like to ask the board how do the esteemed entities plan to support new observers, including LG Sarajevo?
How many entities?
The board and other entities, so maybe the committees support new members. So how do you plan to support new observers?
How do you plan to support new entities?
How do you plan to support new observers such as LG Sarajevo?
Indeed, currently we have multiple processes to that. We have the members committee, which is guiding them through the membership requirements, but we also have regional coordinators who support them in running the organization and raising awareness about esteem and other things.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, we will continue now to the next agenda point. Please use Google Chats. They will definitely look there to answer your question. One more applause for LG Sarajevo. And with that, I close agenda point 15, guests and observers. And now we have another very exciting one, agenda point 16, membership applications. I would love LXIX to come to the stage.
Hola a todos. Translated, hi everyone. So today we are presenting a membership application. My name is Jana and this is my fellow colleagues Isidora, Sofia and Tiana. First of all, we will start with the agenda. Okay, first thing first, about niche, then about our local group, past events, upcoming events, LG travels, and how are we going to maintain sustainability. First of all, something about our lovely city. Niš is the biggest city in the southern Serbia and third biggest in the country. It counts to 205,000, sorry, my mistake. And of course, it's a birthplace of Constantine the Great. University of Niš is established on 15 June 1965, consists of 14 different faculties and has over 30,000 students.
Faculty of Mechanical Engineering was established in 1971. It has two different models, mechanical engineering and engineering management. Faculty of Mechanical Engineering has over 1,400 students, 99 professors and teaching assistants, and over 50 non-teaching staff.
Okay, so now let's hear something about LXIX. First of all, this is our logo. Okay, one on the back, you went forward. This is our official local group logo. As we said, Niš is the birthplace of Constantine the Great, so it only makes sense for our logo to be exactly that. And the local group Niš is one of the 3 local groups in Serbia, and we're the only one in southern Serbia, so that's pretty exciting because we have the best food, trust me. Also, Sofia right here is currently our LRM president, and she was the one with the idea to re-establish local group Niš, but you already know this because we were presenting the same thing for observership status. So anyways, when we came to re-establishing, it was re-established in May of 2022. We instantly became legal entities, so we didn't have any problems with that. And now we have over 25 active members. So now we wanted to say something about our values and what we foster between our students and our participants and members. So generally, we're fostering a vibrant community of people who enjoy mechanical engineering, who enjoy industrial engineering and management in general, and who are very passionate about that. So through numerous projects and different events that we are organizing, whether on a local or international level, we try to incorporate values of esteem, and we try to make a local group and its members very active and to gather some knowledge about the organization and stuff, which is also informal knowledge. And as well, we try to share like knowledge, experience, and everything through just being members of this esteem community. You're going to see local group structure right now, if we come to the slide. So local group structure currently, we have Sofia, which is our president and local responsible. Then there's me, I am VP of Public Relations. Then we also have Jana, who is on the stage. She is VP of Human Resources and Activities, also the most optimistic member of our local group, trust me. And we have Mattia right there. You're going to see him. He is VP of CR and Project Management. So about the events we have already organized. We have organized our first official event offline was Balkan Motivational Weekend in December 2022. Then we organized our local LSS course in March of 2023, and the newer ones after our observership application and after we've been accepted. We have organized a Balkan Regional Coordination meeting in March of 2024. Then we have organized exchange with lovely Istanbul ITU, so hello to you guys, in April of 2024. And finally, we have organized 35th board meeting 1 in Bovan Lake, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let's go. And now something about our future plans and what are the future events that we are already planning and that are going to be incorporated very soon. Okay. So for the upcoming events, we have Vision Green on Wheels coming up in the beginning of December. Hello. We have extended applications only to raise awareness here where we have the chance to speak. So if you want to apply, you can apply today and tomorrow. So all of the information is on our Instagram page. And we have some local group events, like local events, something on pitch deck design, workshop, and something about the sports initiative as well on our local level.
I'm sorry, please wrap it up a bit.
Okay. Yep, that's it.
Well, okay, since I'm the only one left to talk and you are listening to me for already 2.5 years, I think you are bored of me already. So here you can see our LG travels, and that is since we applied and got accepted for observership status. So now we are just gonna go really fast through that. We have Porto, council meeting in April. After that, Tiana went to Novi Sad for activity week. After that, there was CM in Budapest. It was lovely. After that, Mateja was at the LSS Central course. Sorry. You can see the picture from the LSS course. After that, it was an event Tiana, Mateja, and Diana went to in Munich. After that, Balkan Motivational Weekend in Sofia. We are going to come there. Just be patient, please. Okay. Okay, here you can see the pictures of us traveling and visiting and enjoying our events. Like you have pictures from all the events that we went to, and now I think there is the major part that everyone is interested about. How are we going to maintain sustainability since we are applying for a full membership? Well, firstly, we have generation swap. We have new and ambitious members that are getting more involved. As Tiana mentioned, here on the stage you have Jana and Isidora. They are some younger members. After that, we established habits on projects, meetings, and so on. We really are trying very hard to cope up with everything and to be we are trying very hard, and we are doing it, and it's going great for us. After that, we are planning on forming the alumni network in Niš that I will be joining since after this CM. After that, we have more students, more recruits, more members, and you can have happy LG Niš after that. And also we gained some new members like in the past month. We got, I think, 5 new members, something like that. So also we have more LG travelers and people who are eager to explore esteem. And I would kindly ask all my members to come now because Niš did manage to bring 11 people to this CM. And that is the most people that ever had been from our LG at the same place, same time. So please, this is our lovely LG Niš, and by getting here, we are trying to show you that we are really dedicated to this process and that we did really try hard and that we managed to organize everyone and to come here and say hello.
Thanks a lot for the elaborate explanation and a very nice presentation. It's amazing to see this application actually. Before we go to the questions, we still have a statement from MC and RC, so I would like Andrea and Milutin on stage.
On behalf of the members committee, I don't have anything new to add that I haven't said in the guests and observers presentation. The local group is doing quite well, organizing quite some events and grown in a sizable manner in the recent times.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea from LG Târgu Mureș and Balkan RC. And I want to tell you that I'm really happy to see that Balkans are getting crowded. And a thing that I want to say to the LG Niš is that you make me a proud Balkan mama. Thank you so much.
Okay, then we have question time. Please stand up if you have any questions, and also please make it brief, a bit short, and both the answers and both the questions and the answers. I see 2 people standing over there. Let's first go to Emir and then Sjouke. There are no delegates standing up, right? No. we can go there.
Hello, Emir Mut from LG Istanbul Yıldız. Congratulations, guys, firstly, on your application. I want to ask that what was the biggest challenge for you that you have faced during your membership process, and how could Central Esteem help you in that regard?
Thank you for the question. The hardest thing for our LG and for the whole application process was to gather all the people and to just work on the same target, and that is why I'm very proud that we did manage to get all these people here, and I think that is the hardest part of our application because the requirements, we did actually a pretty good job with fulfilling all the requirements. We got 2 international events in 2 months, so we did organize quite a good events, if you ask me. I'm very satisfied and I'm very proud of my local group. So I think that was the hardest part. Thank you.
Can I also hear the second part?
Can you just please repeat
it? How can Central Esteem support you in that regard?
So basically, can you hear me? Okay. So basically, Central Esteem can help us with, as they're already helping us, some PR stuff, because we are lacking some experience on that part. And as Sofia said, we're going to form alumni network, which both of us are going to be joining after the CM. So the PR stuff is something that we kind of need help with, as well as the CR stuff. But basically, just being accepted in the S-Team and Central S-Team generally is something that the S-Team LG niche is really proud of and very thankful for. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, last question, Sjouke.
Okay, yes, Sjouke Duinstra, LG Eindhoven. Congratulations on your application. Also for me, this was a very impressive resume, all of it together. I did want to ask one question about the generation swap that you mentioned, because as we remember from the observership application back then, some board positions have changed, or some people in the positions have changed and some haven't. You were talking about the generation swap. Have you already started thinking and establishing the procedures and ways in which you elect those new board positions and board members?
Okay, so basically the whole idea of bringing a whole lot of people from LG niche here is for you to see for yourself that there is in fact a generation swap. So all of these members, just besides Sofia and I, are the new generation, as we call them. So they're going to take over the LG niche, and we have a bunch of other people waiting at home to, hear the results. And basically, regarding the local group structure that you mentioned, we are still in these positions because, as we mentioned on the previous question that we had, is that we are trying to teach them locally, our experience and share the experience and how for them to continue to grow local group niche. So basically, that's and generally the new local board is going to be elected in April. So the new local group structure is going to change then, if I answered the question. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. One big applause for LG. Oh. We don't have time, Helen, I'm sorry. You can put it on Google Chat. And with that, I close agenda point 16, membership applications. And I open agenda point 17, proposals for exclusion. I would like to ask Victoria and Marta on stage, please. And Joko already at the front row, please.
Here. Oh. So, hello everyone, it's wonderful to see you. I hope you enjoy CM Seville as much as we do. And we are here to update you about how is the situation looking like in Warsaw, what are our goals, what are our accomplishments. And we have a pleasure to represent our LG here. And it's a second CM at which we have 2 delegates. So since the situation looked pretty bad in the past, I think it's also one of our accomplishments. Yeah. I think we can get started with the presentation. Okay. So just about the agenda. Like I mentioned, we want to say about current situation, about our events, which we have participated in and which we have organized. And yeah, we also want to share with you our strategy and how we are planning to make things better.
First, I want to give a quick snapshot of where we stand. Local Group Warsaw is thriving with 18 active members, 5 newcomers who we believe will bring fresh perspective and energy to our group. We also have 4 observer members and 3 members who consistently travel and connect with other groups, sharing experience and expanding our horizons.
Yeah, so actually in December we will have 4 travelers because our friend is also going to join LXIX Sigma in Porto. So then we will just lack 1 traveler. So it's also changes a lot, and that's something that changed like a few days ago. So we just didn't have time to change the presentation, but I wanted to update you.
This year has been packed with exciting events and allow us to learn, grow, and collaborate. Our team took part in the training festival where we refined our skills and also we took part in European Environmental Entrepreneurship Hackathon, which was an amazing experience around sustainable solution. We also participate in PAES Activity Week, a perfect blend of networking and culture. Additionally, our team was holding Entrepreneurship Summer Summit and the Leaders Forum, giving us insight and connection with other leaders. LG Warsaw is also busy organizing events. Currently, we're preparing for RECOM, Northeast RECOM, and we're excited about the impact it will have on our members and the border community. We also plan to organize an exchange next year. We even have potential local groups with whom we can organize this. Yeah, and looking ahead, our strategy is very simple but ambitious. We want to keep growing our membership and providing meaningful, relevant events for our members. We are committed to fostering culture of learning, networking, and sustainable practices. As we expand, we are focusing on creating more opportunities for connection and professional development, both locally and internationally. And as you can see, the only condition that we are unfortunately do not meet is the number of people traveling, but we are already working on it by trying to organize an exchange. Yeah, and in closing, I'm proud of Local Group Warsaw has accomplished, and we even more excited about what lies ahead. With your support, we'll continue building a group that's strong, innovative, and powerful. Thank you so much for your attention, and we wish you a successful year as for all of us. So thank you so much.
Thank you for the presentation. Before we go to question time, I would like to invite Jelko Müller, the RC, on stage for the regional coordinator statement.
Hello, I am Jelko Müller from LG Braunschweig and the regional coordinator of the Podeo region. Can you give the presentation? Okay. Okay, the state of the LG Warsaw is generally relatively stable. It was weaker before, but they're getting better and better. Most of their members are relatively new. They have roughly 15 to 20 members right now, so that's comparatively pretty good. There are many local groups with roughly that size. They are only not fulfilling the requirement of having enough travelers. They are supposed to have 5 travelers, but they had 3 so far. But they will improve that as they have already applied for more events. But they're really motivated. As you know, like it's one requirement that you have to organize one event, but they've organized 2 events this far in this year. But they're organizing an additional event, our Recom in December in Warsaw. So they're doing like really good. They're really motivated and they're doing more than they have to in the other requirements categories. This is generally like can be seen as like a really good state. And also, if you want to go to Warsaw, you can apply for that event right now. Application is open there. So I promote this event. Maybe come see us there. And yes, that's everything from my side.
Okay, question time. I see only one person standing up, so that means that we at this moment only have one question. Can we please get the microphone to Sebastian?
I'm sorry, Max, it's more a comment. I just want to emphasize that LG Warsaw was pretty much almost dead, and we've been there as leaders at Leaders Forum, and it's been an amazing event. It would be a real shame if they would be excluded. Please vote for them to stay.
Can I add something to that? So I just wanted you to take into consideration that, for example, since CM Aveiro, it was just a few months, and also it was a vacation, most of it in Poland, and exam time. So also people weren't very willing to, go for a week to events, even though it's fun and also really it's really important stuff that you can learn, but still exams and then vacation aren't the time that it makes easy for us to travel, because many people were in their hometowns. So yeah, I just wanted to add that so that you could take it into consideration too.
No more questions? Okay, amazing. I will then close agenda point 17, proposals for exclusion. Before going to an announcement from Lucia, I also would like to clarify that we then have 3 votes tomorrow. 3 votes tomorrow. We have the proposal to overrule requirements. We will vote on the membership of LXIX, and we will vote, which one do we have left? Of course, the exclusion of LG Warsaw. So that will all happen tomorrow in closed voting. Thank you.
So just quickly, I can see that some delegates are missing. So for example, where is the second Berlin delegate? Yes? Can we please have a microphone for the Berlin delegate? Thank you.
Okay. The delegate comes this evening, and then he's tomorrow there.
Sorry, can you?
Not working? Is it working yet? Okay, he's coming this evening at 10 because he had an event in our local group. So he's coming at 10 p.m. and then he's there tomorrow.
Are you the voting delegate?
Yes.
Okay, good. And by the girls, is it local group Stockholm that's missing? Okay, good, good. Thank you.
Okay, good to have that all figured out and clarified. Then we can continue to agenda point 18. I still want to mention, since we are a bit out of time, we will combine question time of the next 3 agenda points. So activities report, education report and corporate relations report. But let's start with agenda point 18, activities report. And I call Hannes Martin to the stage.
So, we are starting with the first of our reports, at least, okay, that was the members report, so maybe it's the second. Activities report, it is a report on the state of our activities so far in our mandate. But first, how are you? I see a lot of people kind of sleeping, so how about we do a small energizer? Does anyone of my board want to join me? We are doing a haka. But please all stand up. Okay, so please quickly sit down. That's all part of my time. And let us continue. It worked better earlier. Huh. Okay, so events, you all know them, really cool. We are all traveling. Here are some old pictures of that's what makes us team. We are all, since the beginning, wanting to connect with IM students all over Europe. So that is one of the key things of a team. We travel, we have different events where you meet people and experience cool things. So let's look a bit of data. Let's look at data about events. What events happened so far in the mandate? How is our mandate doing so far? You have a report here about the number of events in a mandate. You see there's quite a big of a difference, but obviously the mandate just had started. It's 2024, 2025. We are in the fourth month now, so it's a bit more realistic if you look at like this. So only the first 3 months. This is until the 31st of October, so 3 months of mandate. And if you look at it, you see we are doing quite well. There is a lot of events already happening in all different entities. We have every department represented, and yeah, it is comparable to previous years. We have a good amount of events. Something that is to highlight here, that the central events and the exchanges are already quite high compared to some other events, which is not necessarily an issue, but something that should be taken note of, because you all want to travel to events, and an exchange only one LG visits another LG, and at a central event, it's for the services, committees, or regions that are there and not for the entire network. So it's less event you can travel to. Another look at the monthly distribution. So here is it about in the previous year, 2023, 2024, starting in August, going to July. It's normally that in the summer we have like a slower start. There's less happening in August. Then around the council meetings, before the council meetings, a lot of stuff is happening. Usually when the new board year and the new leaders are starting, they are trying to get a few events done. And we generally have a peak in the early year when a lot of people are available, want to travel, and a lot of LGs have time to organize events. And then after the council meeting, usually it's going down again and we're having a summer break-ish with fewer events. It's already looking a bit similar. This is the entire data for this mandate with planned events and happening events that already happened. And if you look at this data, you see that in all the months we already have more events than previously. It's kind of previous year. Makes sense because we already had them in the first slide. And the development is also looking quite nice already in the next few months. There is quite a few events already on the portal. It's normal for some events, especially exchanges, to appear on a closer time frame because they are usually in cooperation between two LGs, so there is no need for them to be on the portal that early. Yes, so the important part, events, there's people traveling to the events. So let's look at that. Who is traveling? How many people are traveling?
Please wrap it up, Hannes.
Huh?
Please wrap it up. Be faster.
Oh yeah, fast, yeah. Travelers, a lot of travelers, similar to last year. The only important part is the distinct travelers is a bit lower, and the total participants also. That means there's less participants per event in the mandate. Travelers so far, compared to the year, it's quite a lot to go, and you see the distinct travelers is only closer than the total travelers because there is not as many opportunities to travel. I will move faster. At the distribution for local groups, there are some local groups that travel a lot and some that travel less. That is quite normal. It is very focused on certain countries, so that is maybe something we should look at in the next part of our mandate. If there's reason for that, that can improve the traveling of some LGs that are not traveling that much. When are they from, meaning how old? You see there is actually people from 2008 that joined as team in 2008 that traveled. They are probably alumni, but there is still quite a lot that are that traveled for the first time. It's actually 30% of the travelers we have in 2024, so not the mandate, but the year that traveled for the first time, which also means that 60% have already been in the network, which is quite comparable to previous years, and I would say a quite healthy number. Let's move on to waiting lists. Waiting lists are a part with how many people apply and how many people get accepted. There the distance is increasing. That means we have more people wanting to go to an event than we have spots. Especially if we look at the entire mandate, you see that over the previous mandates it was around 80 to 90, while now it's at 70, which is a bit concerning. So we will try to have more events because there is demand in the network. Let's move on faster. Yes, more events. Things to keep in mind. Local group exchanges, if you look at the data here, you see that there is quite a percentage of exchanges that are increasing over the years, which while this total number of events is not really increasing that much, that means some LGs are either doing their first exchange. What is actually happening, some LGs are doing a lot of exchanges, which is generally fine if they want to do that, but it's important that there's also other events happening because those are the chance to meet people from a lot of different LGs and countries and have really the cultural experiences we want. And application deadlines are almost back on pre-COVID levels. That means how much time is between an event starting and you applying. Especially if we don't look at exchanges, I already mentioned they're usually later. It is almost 53 days, which is almost 2 months, which is still quite close for some people to book travel, but definitely better than a bit more than 1 month. It's still something we want to work on a bit, because even before it was something that was worked on, but then COVID kind of was like a curveball and pushed it down a bit. Moving faster, a lot of people are canceling their participation, which is obviously not nice for the LGs that plan with those people and create issues. So we have to definitely look at why that is happening and how we as centralized team can avoid that. And I already talked about all of those points. So I will skip and thank you.
Thank you, Hannes. I will leave this agenda point open. We have questions later. Also for the presenters, please also respect the presentation time. A few times we went quite over it. Yeah, that's basically it. Let's open the next agenda point then, the education report. I would like to call Fran Lopez and Sofia Mugumada Sultan on stage. Sorry for very mispronouncing your surname. Open agenda point 19.
Hello everyone. Now talking about education. So what we are doing in education? Let's see. Maybe you are going to get surprised after this presentation. What do we do for education in STEAM? We have 3 main areas, like impact of the professional development of students associated with STEAM. For that, we offer events that you can learn more about IAM. Also, we develop the field of industrial engineering management with the research, and we participate in conferences to spread the knowledge and the student opinion of the IAM students. And we manage the professional institutional partnership with industry and academia to participate in events and get inputs of our projects. So for that, here Sofia as PDC leader, she's helping me and the committee to achieve these 3 main areas. So let's start with the IAM offerings to the students. We have the IAM offerings is 2 departments of events. We have the Academic Development Department with the 2 services, Vision and Lenses Sigma Green Belt course, and 2 new initiatives, 2 new task groups that we are developing. We had the first offline events this October, visual storytelling with data and circular economy course. You will have more information about these courses in the next days that we'll have a presentation of them. And another IAM offerings is the CDD department, like also some topics of vision are very close to BX Forest Days. So there is a parallel session that you can learn more about the IAM topics in both services, and also Business Booster and Times. So let's continue. Okay, the institutional partners. We collaborate with some organizations that are professors and part of industry. And tomorrow we'll have a presentation of CEFI and APM. I'm going to explain you a shorter. AIM is the European Academia for Industrial Management. They are professors of IAM in all Europe, and they organize conferences, and they participate in some of events, because in Leaders Forum in Warsaw, one of the professors come to us and deliver a session about IAM. Also, we collaborate with APM, European Professor of Industrial Engineers Management. They are like us, but for professors. And the main one that we present papers is CEFI, European Society for Engineering Education. They also organize conferences every year. We attend every year and present papers of each BP. And also we collaborate with AIIL, European Institute for Industrial Leadership, that Sofia is going to explain more, because we have some events on the portal with them. And you can apply, and it's online everything, so it's And what we do during these months, I attended, well, let's start with AIL. We attend the online conferences that are in the portal. You can apply. You are going to learn more because it's not only with academia and with industry, it's also with another NGOs like BES, ISTEC, Euroavia. And also we went to the CEFI conference in Lausanne. Rob and I, we were present, and also Malena and Maria Serodio, former Vice Presidents of Education, presented a paper about the attractiveness of universities.
From, please, wrap it up again.
I'll do it. So I went to the AIN conference in Garmisch-Partenkirchen in the south of Germany, and Milutin was present in the Western Balkan Educational Engineering Forum in Belgrade last week about the International Federation of Engineering Education Societies. And now, this is the part for Sofia. We tell you the development of the field of IAM with the Committee of Professional Development Committee.
So now I'm going to talk about PDC. PDC's mission is to improve IAM by managing partnership with both universities and professors. We are doing that with the Leonardo project, and especially Professor Antonio from the University of Calabria. We are also doing a curricular analysis, and that's a huge task because it's an analysis of all the curricula of the LGs in STEAM. And because it is such an important, huge task, we have 2 part-time employees. And to finish, our main goal is to write research paper and organizing workshop and conferences. And this year we are going to focus on attractiveness of university and maybe do some events like zooming in and all. If you have questions, you can approach me or a friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will keep this agenda point open as well. And then I open agenda point 20, Corporate Relations Report. I would like to ask Adriaan Leonard and Alexandra Simic on stage.
Okay, hello everybody. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Alexandra. I'm from LG Belgrade, and I'm currently the leader of Corporate Relations Committee. And for all of you that don't know what we do here on the Central STEAM regarding CR, we are approaching potential monetary partners, maintaining and improving current partnerships, adapting STEAM's offer to corporate and institutional institutions, and last but not least, we're connecting partners with a network. So if you have any, because of the time frame that we have, if you have any other questions regarding CR on the local or central level, you can just contact me. We're going to start with, just a second, institutional partners. Okay, so the first one is Chalmers University of Technology. There are long-term partners. Per year, we get 3,500 euros from them. The contract is to be renewed in January, and from them we get masters and studies offers. The next one is LUT University, which is also a long-term partner. We get also 3,500 euros per year from them, and the contract has been renewed in this September. We get also the bachelor's and master's offers from them. And the last one is Favi, and I don't know why it's not working. Okay. Yeah, they're also a long-term partner for us. We get 1,500 euros per year from them, and I'm actually not in charge of it. It's our lovely VP of PR that's in charge of that contact. And yeah, that's all for the institutional partners.
And now let's go with corporate partners. We have Plastipack. It has been signed last year, but the contract is still ongoing. We got 6,000 euros from them. They were a time sponsor. However, we have some communication problem with them due to some change in the society. The CEO decided to step out after 50 years at the head of the company, so the company is not currently really available for partnership, so we probably won't renew them. We have Geronimo Martins. This is a new partners. It's a LSS sponsor. We're getting 1,000 euro from them, and they help us by providing internship for the person that are attending the LSS courses. Then we have Continental. It's a long-term partner. This contract has been signed in 2019. We basically have an internship offer for the LSS participant, and every people that are getting accepted for an internship there, we got 400 euros from Continental. Now we have other partners.
So regarding this, we have something that we talked about previously, and that is the grants that we're getting. That is coming from European Commission, and we have a 3-year framework with them. This is the 3rd year, and currently the grants committee and our lovely grants leader, Dennis, are working on it with the application. Every year we apply for the grant, and every year up until now, you know, hopefully this year too, we get 75,000 euros per year.
And to quickly finish, we have also service partner. Those partners are non-monetary, which means that they're not giving us money. They're only providing us their service for free. So we have Tableau, which is useful for the analysis committee. They just manage data and create dashboard over there. And then we have our lovely Helium that has been already presented by Lucia. And yep, that's it. If you have any question.
Yes, so now I would ask the previous presenters on stage as well, and then we have question time for all 3 reports. Okay, since we don't have a lot of questions, I see 3 people standing, so those will be the first and the last questions. We will start over there. Oh, 4 people standing, sorry. You can go.
Hi, I'm Paul from LG Vienna, Austria. I have a question for the guy from the activities. Yes, hi. You showed a picture with the number of travelers per year per LG. Like this was a picture with all the circles in it with the number of participants. And I didn't see Vienna in there because it was so small. Could you please show that?
I actually shared the presentation on Google Chat, so it's probably best if you look there, because it takes some time for us to open it up. It could be that as we have 77 LGs, not all of them are with their name because of limited space, so you would have to check.
Maybe there weren't enough travelers, I don't know. But thank you.
Okay, please, Chris first. I also would like to see a microphone over there, Tommy, and we will end with Helen after that. Chris, please go.
Can I have 2?
No.
Then I would like to ask a question about the service partners, because currently we are having Session Lab providing us their services free of charge, and I would like to ask if this is considered a service partnership or is it not considered that?
That's a very good question. I have to check if we have a special contract with them. If not, not really.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Tommy, please also a microphone to Helen already. Tommy, you can go.
Tomi Suomi, local group Tampere. Question to Hannes. We can observe we can observe a decline in the quantity of travelers relative to quantity of events. How much of this is due to the quantity of closed events like exchanges and central events, and how much is due to the supply and demand not matching in the events we are offering, as we've had many events with high rate of participants not accepted to them?
Did I understand correctly that you were asking about the number of applicants to participants?
Maybe like, which do you see as being more of, the quantity. So which is more of the issue? Is it that we are having a lot of closed-off events, which is causing the decline? Or is it that we are having a lot of events that participants don't get into some, while not enough participants apply to others?
I think it's probably all of the above, but in my opinion, the biggest impact is on the events that have a smaller amount of participants, which are, without checking the data completely, in my estimate, the exchanges and probably central events, which you already saw in the presentation, that this year have like 50%-ish already.
Okay, Helen.
Hello, Helen Ergezer, LG İzmir Economy. So my also questions to Hannes, obviously. I wanted to talk about, ask about the online events. So I didn't see that much distinction between the online and offline events during your presentation. Firstly, was it included in the whole events, or it was only for offline events that you presented?
It depends on which of the measures, like it says on the slides.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, the things you can notice where they are separated out is over the year, in what months events are happening, where you see that there is no developments, no big developments depending on the months. That means the offline events are the ones that have like big seasonal impacts, while the online events are kind of static-ish.
Mm-hmm.
That is one part where you can see the difference there. We don't have an analysis in this presentation on the amount of accepted versus non-accepted, for example, but generally online events have a higher amount of accepted people, so that would probably also lead to an increase in acceptance rates because of online events.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Thank you. Yes, but this was like kind of yes or no question. But my question is actually
No more questions, Helen.
No,
sorry.
no. I'm gonna ask something small.
No.
I
We're
wanna
gonna stop
ask
it now.
But I wanna ask: is it gonna be?
Helen, I will
included in
see
the
it on
board
Google
goals?
Chats. Okay, with that.
I can raise a motion.
You can always raise a motion. That's your legal right. If you want to do that, that's fine.
I just want to ask yes, no.
No? Okay, so thanks a lot. I would love to see all your questions on Google Chat, also from Chris, from Helen, from all other people that have questions. I will close the 3 agenda points. I will close agenda point 18, activities report, agenda point 19, education report, and agenda point 20, corporate relations report. And then we have an announcement before we go to the very short break. And I invite Alancito on stage for the organizational announcement.
Hola. Thank you, Chair Max. So guys, we are having now the second coffee break. So we're going to have also merch, as we were telling you before. So we're going to have the coffee break and the merch in the same space. There's going to be a table on with the coffee and all the stuff as the same as before, but the one on the left is going to have all the merch. People's going to be ready to take everything. So please, not make it so that much time. And also I want to clarify, we are having some official tote bags from the university, but we only have for the official participant of these events. Crusher are not having. Please don't tell nothing to the people there. They just work. And that's all.
Thank you. So now we have a very very quick coffee break. Please be back at 17:20. that kind of stuff is more evenly distributed. Still, we always prioritize topics that we vote upon. So that's why I will probably allow more questions for those kind of topics, just so you understand. But I might get a bit more strict, just so you know. Then, do you need more time? Then we have a very nice annual report of the previous board.
Hello and welcome.
What? The 34th board. Oh, it's already there. Amazing. So it will be a video, but first I have to open agenda point, and it's agenda point 21, annual report of the organization. And we will look at a very nice video of our lovely bodies. Later we will have questions, and then I will ask Tina and Eric on stage. Now they can just relax and watch the video, just like you guys.
To annual report for association year 23-24 for Esteem, or how we would like to call it, the story of how João, Marlene, Alex, Tina, Ari, and Eric, together with all of these amazing people, created the best year so far. Now, this report consists of an overview of the current situation of the network and thoughts on individual goals, highlights, and milestones. We start with the overview. We have 78 local groups, 78 members, that is 2 more than last year. We have had 220 events in this last year with 3,700 participants and an average NPS of 63. Our financial situation is that we have made almost 7,000 euros in profit, which leaves the network in a good and stable situation overall. Now, how did we do this? Partially through board goals. The first one is safety and inclusivity and esteem, which we achieved 6 out of 10 sub-goals. More details will come later in this report. And the second was setting a strategic direction for esteem. Here we achieved all of our sub-goals. Again, the details will come later. And the third goal, central esteem working culture. We did manage to fulfill all the sub-goals that we set out, with such achievements as transitioning to Google Spaces and creating a wonderful leadership generation. Esteem Air shoutouts to you guys. Now, strategy implementation. We worked together with our leaders and the network. We created 129 sub-goals. Out of those, 98 were completed with the details that you see below. When it comes to the overall situation in the network for our members, our local groups, we have 78. That's 2 more than when we started. We have still 2 observers, and we have got, in the last council meeting, 2 local groups with consecutive warnings. That's a decrease from 8 since when we started. As well, we only have had 1 proposal for exclusion, that's local group Warsaw, as opposed to 6 last year, with a conclusion that we need to update the Esteem map soon. Now, how did we achieve this? Well, through work with the entities related to local groups. So for the growth, we had a fantastic team led by Fran in MC, and we had the mindset in the board that we did not want to limit the growth based on factors that we do not really understand nor know. We would prefer to let local groups apply to be part of the network and then prove themselves. When it comes to support, well, we restructured the support from local group support system based on the work of the previous year, which let us give better support, both targeted, like the consultancy case in Barcelona, but also in general support to the regional coordinators, which we worked together as the membership, well, member sphere, as we call it, which was a different approach, a more holistic approach to local group support, where all of these people here on the picture work together. And I can say that we did a good job. Good job, you guys. Regarding safety and esteem, together with the Decofara, we created the safety and esteem presentation, which you may have already seen this CM, or maybe I'm spoiling it for you. We created the code of conduct based on the draft version from last year, as well as terms and conditions for esteem events, so that both participants and event organizers are aware of what is expected of them, and so that there is a clear way to report when misconduct is done. We also revised the safety contact persons, that is both in terms of how we select them, train them, and what their scope of responsibility is during the events. Now, future work and recommendations is that we would like to see the SCPs all around the network in local events as well. Strategy creation was done by researching. The research was very long, countless hours, where we did interviews with past boardies and past members of the network. We read old reports, we read literature, and we tried to get feedback from the network, resulting in more than 15 Ilium posts, notoriously very long 28-minute readers like these, and I can spoil you, barely anyone read it. But it resulted in the current strategy that we have now. This is the Steam dashboard, which allows us to track and record progress over time, as well as the topical strategies, which we created 6, but we did have a couple of more that we did not propose yet. Now, I wanted to mention the most important thing.
Hello? Hello? Council, are you there? Oh, hello there. So let's move on to the presentation of another position, this time about the VP of Activities. So yeah, I'm João from Local Group Aveiro, and I was the VP of Activities of Esteem during the last year. Looking from far away, it seems like some of you are a little bit sleepy. So how about we do a quick energizer, okay? It's going to be very quick, and I really need your cooperation here, okay? So let's pretend that we have a little lake here, and we have a little fish, and every time the fish jumps, you need to clap your hands, okay? So let's try it out once. Okay. Okay, now let's do it for real. Now please help me. Okay, and I really hope that that worked out, otherwise it will be very awkward now. But yeah, let's get to it. So talking about my responsibilities as VP of Activities, so I had to coordinate Esteem activities and manage the event portfolio. I was also responsible for documenting and evaluating all Esteem activities, as well as development of the quality of Esteem events. And this is all according to the internal regulations. And then besides that, I also had other board responsibilities and extra projects. Now, because of time constraints, I will only focus on the main outcomes and some of the main projects that were accomplished during the last year. But also, let's talk a little bit about events. So firstly, in terms of events, we had a total of 178 events, if we sum online and offline events. And this is a very high number. This is higher than pre-COVID times. And this is only the events that got uploaded in the portal. So events like Times Local Qualification, local course of Lean Six Sigma, and other events that your local group might organize are not included here. And this is also from August to August, because that is the association year of Esteem. And also alumni events and external events are not included. So these are really events that were organized by local groups for Esteemers, for student Esteemers. But we should also look at the offline events, and when it comes to offline events, we still have a bit to grow when it comes to pre-COVID time levels of events. But even so, we have been doing very good progress over the last few years. And now that we have more local groups, hopefully this number will also increase. And in general, the amount of offline events that local groups are organizing is increasing, so that is also a very good thing. When it comes to online events, we had a decrease of 5. There is no graph about it, but yeah, we had 5 less online events during this year. When it comes to travelers, we had around 3,700 travels that were done by around 1,800 different Esteemers. And this is both online and offline. This is a very high number, especially when it comes to the number of individual Esteemers that traveled. Even if we only consider offline events, it is the highest in the recent years. So this is very good news. and yeah, we're very happy about it. Some main conclusions. So we have more offline events, we have more travels and travelers, and almost every member group organized at least one offline event. I do not share in great detail here, but almost every local group organized one offline event. Though everything is not perfect, I mean, for sure there's still a lot to improve. There are certain areas, certain event types that do not get a lot of events organized, and that is definitely something that Esteem should improve in the future. And this is all thanks to our amazing local groups. I mean, in the end, local groups organize events, and local groups provide travelers. So congratulations to you all. And now another responsibility is the development of the quality of Esteem events. And here we had, in first place, we had event organizational school. So this was a new event that we tried out. It's basically teaching members of local groups how to organize events. We also had the event quality trainings to local groups, so a bit of the continuation of the event organizational school, but tailored towards specific local groups that are struggling. And then we also have a local group roundtable, specifically about event organization. So this event is all about bringing people from different local groups together and have them benchmark how they organize events, their best practices, what problems they're facing, and really connecting the local groups. Besides that, we also worked on an event organizational toolkit for local groups. So basically, the idea behind it is to have a folder accessible for everyone that contains all of the written knowledge that local groups need to organize good quality events. Templates, BPDs, and all sorts of documents like that, guidelines as well. This project was not concluded, and it got handed over to the next generation. So if you want more updates, then make sure to ask them. And then also, as VP of activities, a lot of effort went into communication with organizers, and this is also a very big portion of the effort I put into the development of the quality of Esteem events. Now, talking about extra projects, I mean, Esteem Spirit was also a big area for me. So we started off by the Spirit portal. So here, I mean, the Spirit portal is this page on WordPress, on the portal. And together with the Spirit responsible, we really tried to update a little bit, make it a little bit more appealing, and tweak a little bit here and there, and make it just overall better, at least in our opinion. And then together with the bears of both council meetings, so Engie Bear and Boogie Bear, we tried to update the songbooks, mainly towards adding new songs that were being sung in Esteem that were not in the songbook, and the bears did most of that work. I will not take much credit about it. Yeah, an energizer. And then together with Deco, the Nordic Regional Coordinator, we organized Traveling with Esteem, so an event that is focused on first year, for like newbies, people that have traveled maybe to one event, and the purpose was to persuade them to go for more events, so by teaching them different events that they can participate in, and also how to travel in Esteem in a cheaper way, and etc. As it will be mentioned in this presentation, the spheres were a big focus of my board, and from it there were from the activity sphere there were two good outcomes. Firstly, the events calendar, and the terms and conditions for Esteem events. Once again, if you want more updates about these projects, make sure to ask the current generation. Thank you very much to all of the leaders and all of the team members that have worked with me throughout this year. And see you in a few days. And thank you. Have a good day. And as we say in Portuguese, Hakuna Matata, amigo. See you.
Okay, now we move on into the area of education, and I am happy to share that it has been a very successful year for education in Esteem. The field itself is separated into three parts: activities for the development of IEM students, conducting research for the development of IEM education, and managing conferences for IEM partners. In addition to that, I was also involved in some other non-education related areas. The biggest breakthrough we had in the first part was the further development of the two courses that aim to become stable services in Esteem, the Circular Economy course and the Data Visualization course. I am very happy to see that both of them had pilot events shortly after our mandate ended, so I think we're on a very good path here. Another accomplishment was actually the closure of 2 entities, IAM Conference and Academic Days. Both concepts were tried out sufficiently in the past and due to numerous reasons did not work out the way we intended, and therefore got officially closed during our mandate. SSTeam is a very unique setting with thousands of IEM students in 27 different countries. We see it as our responsibility to gather data and opinions from IEM students that we then conduct research with. I'm happy to share that we finished the urgent project and wrote a research paper about attractive character traits of universities for IEM students. Both results are now published and can be used by academia to develop IEM education. The Leonardo project has a lifespan of 2 years and is supposed to be done in the summer of 2025. Therefore, we only contributed to it partially, however, that very successfully by having workshops during council meetings and also some service events. However, one of the failures this year was the curricular analysis. The plan was to finish analyzing our curriculums, but we did not manage that. I'm happy to hear that STeam has now employed someone to take care of the analysis, so hopefully we will be seeing some results soon. When it comes to partners and conferences, I'm happy to share that we have still good connections to all 4 educational partners. The only exception here is IPIM. They were not the most willing to answer my emails, therefore the relationship is sadly still an ongoing problem. In total, we attended 4 offline conferences as well as a couple of online seminars. Almost all of them were conferences organized by our partners. However, STeam also managed to be present at a conference we have never been to before, namely SCAME conference that João attended for us. As a member of the board, I also helped out in other non-education related activities, amongst them the Grants Committee, whose main task it is to manage the grant of the European Commission. Here, I have 2 major outcomes to share with you. First of all, we managed to fulfill all our tasks and deliverables and therefore got the full funding of the 2023 grant, which is 75,000 euros, which is awesome for us to have. And also, we wrote another cute little 70 pages proposal for the 2024 grant. Not gonna lie, that did lead to some tears and sleepless nights on my side, but in the end was worth it, because our application got accepted again, with the best feedback and highest score that STeam has ever received from the European Commission. All in all, I am quite proud of the mandate I had. I think we really did some awesome stuff that for sure came with ups, but also many downs. Big thanks to everyone who supported me during that year, especially, of course, my leaders and team members. I really hope that more of you get involved in education, because it can be such a fun and rewarding job. And with that, let's pass it on to the next area.
Hey guys, and welcome to hear from the admin goals. From the previous admin at that. Notice these are my goals with which I applied. So this is kind of what I promised to do. Let's see how well I delivered on that. On the knowledge sharing, we focused a lot on members' drive, especially on KMC's side, which is now smaller and easier to actually use, as well as more accessible. The website test group was, of course, founded, which just shows the commitment to make the user experience more modern and easier for you guys. And also the dashboard accessibility will be improved, meaning you can all see the visualizations, at least select one, in the future. Data literacy was kind of skipped. This was mainly because the access to data was already kind of poor, and it just wasn't the place to focus to. GDPR was focused a lot from the security perspective, as for the compliance, not so much. So did we get stuff out from our current data and information? Definitely. I would give it a passing grade. The scope did change a bit though. And on the back end, a lot of changes were made, especially on the side of ITC and our IT infrastructure. In short, we are this close from closing the old portal. Only the alumni features need to be migrated. We also did some security updates, such as password hashing, security stuff. But it's better now. Data architecture, we didn't improve so much on. Main focus during the mandate was in the recruitment system for HRC, Human Resources Committee, though we did also start work on a joint platform for analysis use. I'm happy, nevertheless, very happy actually. We did have limited resources, so I'm good. As for the development, we had lots of plans, but we started the work a bit too late to get the most out of them. What we ended up doing though was we did map out the organization teams what kind of teams they had in the previous couple of CMs. And then we also made a general structure for council meeting organization, but this could have been more than it was in the end. As for the inclusivity side and all these tasks, HCP, concept, families, they did definitely see improvements. Though on that one, I can give the praise more to my co-boarders because they were actually the ones who focused the most on that. So I'm still happy. Work was done, that's for sure. Thanks. Let's talk more later. All right, guys?
Hello, everyone. This is Alex Marita, the VP of PR of the 34th Esteem Board. Now, I have divided this report into 3 sections: the externals area, the projects, and the PR-focused work. Of course, I cannot cover everything that was done over the past year, so if you want to learn more, please feel free to approach me anytime. Starting off with the externals, the Memorandum of Understanding between Esteem and ISE was finalized and signed, officially adding ISE to our network of student NGO partners. This partnership was officially announced at the Spring Agora 2024 in Novi Sad. From May to June, Esteem launched a PR campaign for the European elections, which also included a special podcast episode featuring insights from both Esteem and ISE. On a central level, we had multiple collaborative events with our partner NGOs, and there were also local collaborations with our ambassadors, estimating more than 3 local partnerships. We also updated 3 MOUs with Favi, ISE, and BEST. At SIM Budapest, we had to make the tough call to pause the Esteem magazine project because we didn't have a project leader. Fortunately, in February, we found a new magazine leader, but with just 6 weeks before the release, I had to jump in to help with article gathering, proofreading, and even designing the whole 66th issue from scratch. We launched the Esteem magazine shop in April as the magazine's first step towards financial independence from the Esteem budget. Now, this is our first go at it, so Esteem isn't making a profit yet, so the prices are set at the exact printing cost. We have also changed up how the Esteem podcast episodes are recorded by switching to Zencaster, which makes the whole process smoother. This year, we sorted the episodes into 5 categories, and we established a more consistent look for promoting them on our social media. In late May, we kicked off a project to analyze the peer data from Esteem social media platforms. The analysis committee is working on a Tableau dashboard that will help us automatically track KPIs, making it easier to monitor our impact and inform smarter PR decisions. We also updated Esteem's brand guidelines. A section of it was approved in CM Budapest. Over 8 months, we focused on the best steps forward our brand, gathering feedback from various stakeholders before finalizing everything. My main plan was to ditch the PDF documents and launch a new page on internal.esteem.org for the brand guidelines, designed to be user-friendly, but unfortunately we didn't make it to the finish line, so that project is now handed over to the next board. Lastly, we gave a makeover to most of the materials in the peer materials folder, making them look more attractive and engaging, with an example of the updated Esteem presentations. For a bit of a closure, I'm very proud to say that Esteem's PR hasn't looked better in a while. Over the last few years, I have poured my heart and my soul into reshaping this part of Esteem, both as a VP of PR and as a peers leader, and I'm very, very grateful for everyone that has been a part of it. I cannot wait to see what's yet to come. So thank you for making this experience so unique, and hopefully see you in Calabria.
Hello everyone, welcome to the most exciting part of the report. But I'm not going to talk about finances that much this time. I'm going to talk about the areas where I had influence as a board responsible. Only some of them, of course, I had more. And their developments. So starting with trainers development and the trainers community and culture. At the beginning of the year, the TC leader and myself have made efforts to establish contact with training session workshop creation program that's called Session Lab. They have decided to support Esteem for free and let the users that Esteem provides the link to use their platform for creation and reporting of training sessions, as we also created a template as well. So then we had a very big event in the year called Training New Trainers in collaboration with ISE that happened in Sofia. It was delivered by our 2 training legend trainers, 2 of the ISE, and half of the participants being steamers, half of them being AEG, and we have a new generation of trainers called Dark Horse, made out of 6 junior trainers. Congratulations. Then we have another event that happened that was purely for steamers, TNT, in Zagreb, and it consisted of more trainers and more participants. And now out of this TNT with a new concept, we have a total of 12 new junior trainers in a team called IPACT. Me being one of them. Congratulations, co-trainers. And now I would like to counsel to do me a little favor and do one clap for the people who made all these accomplishments happen. The main one of them being Chris, the TC leader, who has now really deserved to go to retirement. On 3, 1, 2. Thank you. Moving on, developments in CR and Hunt. Unfortunately, CR is not in the best situation right now. It has not been this bad actually in quite some years. We have had a lot less income from corporations and from institutions, as you can see here. And now I will talk about the entities who are either affected by or have affected this situation, them being CRC and Steam Hunt. CRC has gone through a lot of developments this year that has not been in terms of gaining any partnerships, but has a lot of challenges because of the presence of the leaders and the teamwork that was not present because of the same reason. This is because of outside factors as well, so not just purely a team. The committee has gone through restructuring, through some projects that were started and not completed, one of them being the CRM system change, but now we hope that this information will be used for the future generation of CRC. For Steam Hunt, the biggest problem was the identity crisis, so it moved from one entity to another, and the other problem was, of course, not having partners to participate in the event, so the event was not held this year, even though it had rebranding, it had new concept of promoting it to steamers, which is handed over to the next generation of CDD team members to think about reviving this concept. Also in finance, concretely, the biggest development for myself was the revision of finance summits and organizing them, one being in the amazing LG Aachen, the other one being in Adrian's apartment. So one was a smaller gathering, which was meant for setting expectations for the year and going through the documents that were important for revision. And in the spring, it was promoted to all the steamers to come and listen to either training sessions or participate in discussions. Another development was that it was a full first year of spending from grants from 2023 and 2024, but I will talk about that more in the annual accounts. And the last but not least development of finance was the effort of myself and the FCs that we were trying to develop the knowledge that has been deteriorating through the years, and now we are trying to develop more guidelines, better handovers, presentations on basics, even for the other steamers who are not involved as much to have the knowledge of finance in Esteem. Thank you to all of my leaders who are absolutely amazing. I love each single one of you, and to the both regions that I was responsible for, you made it feel like home for me there. And for any person who has been involved in this year that I even just met on the way, thank you so much. And good luck to the 35th board and their leadership generation. And I really hope that you make that masterpiece happen.
Thank you for the nice presentation. Actually, before I invite the two boards on stage, I still had a small announcement. You can already come on stage. I can make the announcement anyways. Yeah, please don't be on the balconies. There's enough space also in the GA room. We were also told by Alan Cito that it's quite nice for the organizers to be walking around, to be on the sides. So the balconies are off limits. Also, it's quite hard to see what the people are doing, and half of them is basically sleeping. I'm sorry, not every one of you, but please head back to the normal GA room. Okay? Thank you very much. Then we have Tina Mlinaric and Erik Victor Primay. Did I pronounce it well? Probably. For any questions about the annual report. So please stand up if you have any questions. Yeah, well, if nobody else wants to ask something, we still have Chris. Can we get a microphone over there? Thanks for participating, Chris. I hope it's a good question. There are no stupid questions, you know, so that's nice. Please get the microphone there. Oh, thank you. Nice.
With a small addition that we will try to address all your questions here, but this is just, well, third of our board. So if you have got specific questions to our co-boardies, do send them on Google Spaces. I think that they will answer them there.
Then Chris Figas, local group Gdańsk. I have a question to both of you. What is your biggest regret and the biggest accomplishment of this year?
Okay. What? Yeah, of our mandate. Yes, I think when it comes to the biggest achievement, I don't think that you can really talk about that as a board, because I was thinking of how to answer such a question, and it's just so much, you know? If you look at grants getting high score, the CMs being quite interactive, us having quite big success with our local groups, there's very, very many things to be proud of. I think that what we are most proud of, though, is the people that we have worked with. I mean, quite some are here now. They are the people that grew up with us, became leaders, now are doing fantastic things. That is what we are most proud of. Oh, yeah. However, I think that for the setbacks, that's a bit more straightforward to answer. Some things that I personally feel that I did not achieve was especially in the members sphere. I had some plans on bringing back a concept that was called the fire pit sessions. So the idea is to bring together a couple of local groups and discuss a problematic subject and then solve problems together. Unfortunately, this did not happen at all. So that I am quite sad about. Yeah, Tina, do you have some?
Sure.
You have to talk to a little.
For me, it's also a little bit more on the sentimental side. So for me, the biggest accomplishment is when I see steamers that I talked to at some point or collaborated with or worked with have later tried to do something else in the steam or in their private life, and they tell me later, oh, if I haven't talked to you, I wouldn't have done this or done that. For me, that is the biggest accomplishment anyone in the steam can achieve. For the regret, I don't know, like, I won't say I have a lot of them, but I don't have. I have, the only regret is that sometimes I didn't consider that much emotions of my co-boardies, and I was a little bit salty sometimes, but yeah, and neglecting other people as actual individuals with emotions, but more as like too professional. So the only regret.
No. Oh, I see there a question, right? Nice. Okay, let's get the microphone to there. Also, it's maybe nice to tell you that the annual report, we will not vote on that. However, it does serve as a basis for discharge of the 34th board, which we will vote upon in the last voting session, not the first one, just so you know. Like, we don't have too much question time, but still, if you have a valuable question or something nice to ask, now's the time.
João Mus, local group Aveiro. I have a question for both of you, as unfortunately there are only two of you. If you could encapsulate your mandate with a single word, what would it be?
I mean, yeah, difficult question. But the feeling that goes through most is, I mean, two parts. I mentioned the people that we work with, all of them, but especially my board. I mean, I won't say love. I want to find a more a better word than love, but yeah, sentiment and love for the people that I work with. That would be my.
For people who understand, it's not one word, it's free. It's fun, fun, and fun.
Okay, I think that's it for the questions. Thank you. Oh, where? Please, please stand up when you have a question. Okay. Sorry for not seeing you. Can we get the mic over there?
Hello, I'm Jesus from LG Seville, and I have one question for Tina. I want to know like some details about the CRM because I'm on the CRC of of here in Seville, and I'd like some advice on how to implement that. As you said that it didn't work very much, if you could give us some advice to fulfill that task, like I would appreciate it.
For what concrete part?
How to like what difficulties did you encounter, and how would you have solved them?
Oh, for the problem that we had now this year.
With the CRM.
For CRM, the problem was that we actually had people who were researching potential CRM systems, and also we were looking into how we can even invest if they would be of any cost. But in the end, the problem was that the people who were responsible for those projects had some issues that were unfortunately outside of esteem, so those projects weren't finished. In the end, it depends on multiple factors. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to hear more about that now or in the next presentation, but it depends on the size of your organization, on concretely what activities do you have, and then you have the number of partners. So, for CRM, multiple things matter: contact, mission of the company or institution, and such. So it depends more of the size of your organization and how many people are to be in charge of it. The less the better, honestly.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thanks a lot. Is it a quick question? Otherwise we have to continue. Can we get the microphone there, please? Last question, okay?
Hi everyone, I'm Miriam from LG Lyon, France. My question to you is what advice would you give to the current board or like what things they should keep in mind that you weren't like exactly satisfied about during your mandate? Thank you.
Do you want to say?
Yeah, sure.
Ladies first.
Yes, when it comes to advice, I mean, we have a thing that is called a handover board meeting. So they got a week of advice from us. So they're probably fed up of that. But in a quick sentence, like the wisdom learned from a year, the thing that you really appreciate the most is the relationships you create in your board. So take more time to just appreciate yourself. Hang out a little bit. I know that your guys are going to go for board vacation. Really enjoy that. I think that is the thing that you can do the most. Otherwise, I mean, Esteem has been around for 35 years. We have managed quite well. I think that you guys will do a great job. So it'll be good.
Thank you very much for the last question and also for the very nice answer, Erik, and Tina and Erik in general for answering. Yeah, with that, I would like to close. First an applause. Come on, guys. Hey.
Like, thank you, that's very cute, but you will do like the real applause when we get discharged. So that will be later. We can be efficient with the clapping. That will happen later.
Okay, and with that, I would like to close agenda point 21, annual report of the organization. Unfortunately, I again have a few announcements. It is mandatory to be here in GA. I see a lot of people being here, participating, trying as much as possible to stay awake, but I also see people just randomly coming in through the door without even paying attention now. Still people are on their phone. I hope you know what I'm talking about. This is mandatory. It's not acceptable to just randomly walk in. If you have a good reason, you can mention it to the board, but this is for everyone. I want to really thank all the other people that are here, that are contributing, that are trying to stay awake, that are also contributing, I already said that, sorry. But I'm sorry, this is simply not acceptable. I also heard some whispers in the back over there. Please try to pay attention, especially during question times, when they gave quite some nice answers and also some things to reflect upon. Okay? Can we all agree on that, maybe? Yes? Thank you very much for your attention. With that, we can continue to agenda point 22, approval of the minutes of the last General Assembly. And I would like to invite to the stage Lucia Marijetic.
Hello? Okay. Now we will be doing the approval of the minutes of the 68th Council meeting Aveiro. For those of you who maybe do not know, every council meeting, it is a mandatory agenda point to vote on the minutes and their approval from the council meeting before that. So from the spring council meeting in Aveiro that happened in April, we will now vote on the minutes taken. If you are confused what minutes are and what that means, do you see those lovely two people there writing stuff all day? So those are secretaries, and they write everything that is being said in the GA room during each council meeting. We will be voting. Hello? Okay. We will be voting on everything written from the secretaries from the council meeting in Aveiro. Okay? Okay, so according to the statutes of esteem, Article 11.2, of everything discussed in each meeting, the secretary, who will have to be chosen at the beginning of the meeting, shall take minutes that shall have to be confirmed by the General Assembly. So we are obligated to do this. I would invite you to check out the statutes if you want to find out more, but the most important part for you guys now is to scan this, go to the Ilion post that the secretary from Aveiro, where you can find the whole document of the minutes. Look at them because this will be one of the voting topics. Delegates especially, please. So the secretaries of the 68th Council meeting Aveiro were David, Gina, and Zeynep, but I would especially like to thank David and Gina for all the effort they did after the council meeting as well. Also the secretaries. So this is it from the presentation, but I will just in case run it back so you can scan it once more. It's also in the materials library in the useful links from Ilium, and also you can just access Ilium. It's in the most recent posts, so you can find it in multiple ways, but I will give you a second more to scan it. Please read through this. This will be a voting once more, okay?
Okay, before we go to open voting, are there any questions at the moment? Please stand up if you have any questions. Everyone probably read the minutes and thought they were awesome. Yeah? No? Okay, then I would like to invite the voting committee on stage.
Okay, are we ready to vote? People for the approval of the minutes of the last council meeting, please raise the green one, and against the red one, and abstain for yellow. Please raise them high up so we can see. Okay, so 3 abstain, 68 for the approval, so the minutes are approved.
And with the next strike of the gavel, I would like to close agenda point 22, approval of the minutes of the last General Assembly. And we will continue with agenda point 23. I will open anniversary of esteem. I would love to get LG Party Board on stage. I see a technical first. Let's go to the technical. Do we have a microphone, please? It's in the back.
Olay. Okay. Ekin Köse from LG İzmir DU. When you are like putting the voting sheets up, can you please put one, because at the back we are seeing red, but in the front it's green, so it's kind of not okay for us to understand what we are raising. When you're next time doing that, can you please only raising one sheet? So yeah, that's the thing I wanted to say. Thank you.
Nice. So we have 3 sheets. 2 you can keep down, 1 you can keep up, and of course if you're proxy you can keep 2 up. But thanks for the tip, and yeah, hopefully the delegates will do it next time. Then we can continue again with Esteem's anniversary, LG Paderborn. Stage is yours.
I'm waiting for the presentation.
I would like the gentleman helping us to switch, if possible. Thank you.
So we are here for our application for the 70th. No, wait. We are here for the 5th birthday of Esteem. So that's our agenda. That's us. Lars, our VP of Finance. Rusty, Abodi, Daniel und Monika, our delegates. Gina, the secretary from the last council meeting, and a crasher, and myself, project leader and president at the moment. And Kati excused herself. She wasn't able to make it here, but she's a project leader as well.
So, who is LG Paderborn? Basically, our organization is called HG Wing, Hochschulgruppe Wirtschaftsingenieurwesen der Universität Paderborn, eingetragener Verein. Very important to know that. The most important stuff is that we are equal to local group Paderborn, so there's no distinguishable between these organizations. We have 69 times 10 members right now, from which are 50 to 60 active. We are very well connected in our university and further to other organizations. We have a company fair called LXIX each year. This is our main sponsor, you can say, but we also own this company fair. And we also have a strong and growing alumni network with 150 members.
So, why exactly are we standing here today? Because Esteem was founded 34 years ago. What is going to happen in 2025? The 35th birthday of Esteem. Woo! And where are we going to celebrate it? Of course, in Paderborn. Who is coming?
Nice.
Around 130 Esteemers from around Europe. And when are we celebrating? Between the 25th and the 29th of June.
Okay, we want to know what will we do there. So what are we going to do? That's a good question. We have some basic points like international night and the birthday dinner, but the other stuff, that's why we are here today, or the whole council meeting, to collect some ideas with you together. That's why we have a nice working group on Saturday, so we will invite you to join there and help us, and you can directly influence what we will do in Paderborn itself. So come and visit to us, to our working group.
Please speed it up a little bit.
Okay, one very important question is, of course, how much is the participation fee? It will be... No. 120 euros. So, now our budget, very important. This will be like the main costs and our incomes that you can see. I think you can read yourselves. So yes, in total, if it will be showing, I don't know, we need to fix that. It will be like a total budget of 42,000 euros, which will be fully covered by the participation fee and money from the university and also sponsoring. So yes, that will be no problem. Then we have the accommodation, which is like a nice hotel near to the train station. You can see there on the pictures. And yeah, we have a separate accommodation for the alumni in the city center, which will be announced later. So thank you, and yes, if you have any questions, ask us.
Yes, we now have time for 2 questions. I see 1 person standing, 2 people standing. Okay, let's have 1 microphone here. Let's prioritize the delegate, and then David is next.
Okay, Sebastian Meinberg, LG Berlin. 1 big question for me as a German: how much will I pay for beer there in Partyborn?
So we are going to sell 0.5 liters, and it will be around €1.
Nice.
David Barrero, LG Seville. During CM Aveiro, you apply for CM, and you were gonna get like around 50K for university. Are you planning to negotiate and like obtain kind of the same money so you can lower the participation fee?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Are you planning to negotiate with the university to try to get the same amount that you're presenting in Aveiro? So
no, it's not the same amount. It's less. This time it's only 25,000 euros from our university because there were some other expenses from our university and they haven't had any money left for us. So just 25.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, no more questions. We really need the time for the annual accounts, which is also something we will vote upon later. I'm sorry, but thanks a lot, LG Paderborn. Really looking forward to it. Well. So with the next strike of the gavel, I'm closing agenda point 23, anniversary of Esteem. And then I would like to call Tina Mlinaric on stage for opening agenda point 24, annual account of the previous year.
Okay. I'm waiting for the presentation, or should I click something? Is it okay? Oh wait, we missed something. I just want to say one fun fact. 3 years ago, my first Esteem event was here in this GA room, and I presented my first presentation for Esteem with Fran from the board. And I hope that now it will be a full circle. So let's wait. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. It's the last presentation of the day, except for the audit committee report. So let's be fast. So I will be presenting to you annual accounts of the mandate of 2023-2024. So, oh God, I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, I can also stand on the other side, yeah, that's true. So here you have two QR codes. One will be linked to the Excel sheet that was sent at the beginning of the mandate, where you can see the final realization and the balance sheet of the organization. And in the other one, you can also find the written report. It has 22 pages. This presentation is basically just a summary of that report. And the annual accounts and the financial report serves to transparently and truthfully tell the organization the current financial situation of its team. It also serves to highlight the good and the bad practices that happened during the year, and also it will allow you to discharge, to set a basis for the discharge of the 34th board. And this will also be voted upon, very important. So, first let's comment on the realization. When you open the Excel sheet, so the last column that you see on the right is the realization from this year. Here you can also see 2 columns away, the realization from last year if you want to compare anything else. And also the column before is the budget, so something that we were predicting at the beginning of the year for the financial period. As you can see from the graph and from the statement below, the profit loss of this financial year is that Esteem is in a profit of almost 9K euros. Yes, so what are the good and the bad sides? In incomes, we have one drastically bad thing and one drastically good thing. The drastically bad thing was, how I mentioned already in the annual report, is that the CR of Esteem this year has drastically failed, and it has declined by 9K from companies and 8K by institutions. In the financial report, you will find also a graph which will show you the financial situation of income by companies and institutions in the last 13 years. You will see that it's actually a trend already now that incomes from CR are falling from year to year, starting from 2011 when it had 60K to this current situation when it is from companies only 1K, and that's a specific reserve, and from institutions only a few. To mention, we have a smaller contract with Chalmers, which was already expected throughout a couple of years that Chalmers would lower their contract amount. And also for TU Eindhoven, some communication got lost, and then I didn't get the final contact information for the invoice, and it wasn't sent, but it was handed over to this board. And also with Picnic, we had some difficulties in communication. 2 people from the talent management department changed the jobs, so that's where we also lost contact. For the rest, you can also read in the report. For the income by grants, we have also received another grant this year, as you also heard in the annual report. But also, we have received something else that's different from last year, and that is 15K gain from the grant report post-payment, which is basically they pay the amount based on the reporting that was done from the report that we had from the 2023 year. This is our 2nd year of partnership that we gained. This next one will be the 3rd year. And we completed the full amount of reports, but with a few amendments. Here you can see the diversity of income. It is quite obvious that the most income comes from grants. Also a little disclaimer, in other income, a lot of the percentage of other income is actually specific reserves that we received from the previous board. So in total, from the budgeted part, total income achieved is 88%. Without the specific reserves is 83%, and income has probably never been this high in Esteem in history. So recommendations, only 3 main ones, is to increase diversity of income. So try to implement more into CR than only grants, or at least from multiple sources from grants. Doesn't have to be this specific grant agreement. For fundraising entities, to revise them to question their structure and their purpose, since this has been a problem this year, and also to revise the value propositions and the corporate image that Esteem provides to its partners, which has also been an issue this year. Also more information in the report. I really have to be quick. Yes, so regarding expenses, I think I missed one. No, I didn't. Okay, regarding expenses, I would just like to mention 3 fields. One is that the board fund is much less than budgeted because the board was trying to save money with cheap ways of transportation and through connecting events. So that is something good. For activities fund, it is much less than we budgeted, which is, from the opinion of the board, bad because we wanted to invest into individuals and to steamers to travel with a concrete purpose. Then you will see in the recommendations we encourage that this is again promoted and that more steamers do travel with the financial support of Central Esteem. And another thing is the support to project is almost nothing because the magazines were not printed this year due to some other technical issues that we had with the organizing local groups and the printing companies that were there. So also you can, for expenses, just check out, there's an additional tab, grant spending overview, where you can see what was exactly spent, which amount, how much was left from the grant agreement from 2023, and how much is left for this current year. Because this current board will also have their part in spending for the current grant, because the grant is in a full financial year, so a calendar year, and the board is only in an academic year, so from August to July. From the grant 2023, very important to mention is that this is not recommended that this much money is left. We were in a position where we didn't get to analyze so much the spendings. So this money is now in the reserves of Esteem for Black Days, let's say, but I will mention that in the end of the report. And a good thing to mention is that Esteem is not audited, so the European Commission does not ask Esteem to report on their spendings for these concrete grants. So we are not obligated to tell them how we spend it, but they can ask if they have any suspicion that we are not spending this money on any of the work packages in our grants. Specific reserves, just to mention very quickly, specific reserves are an amount of money that one board leaves to the other board for a very specific purpose. So for example, the previous board left for us to fund trainers' participation fee for a concrete event called Leaders Local Responsible Forum. So the same is done with our year. We are leaving money that is mostly part of work packages from the grant that they need to still fulfill until the end of the year, or some expenses that they didn't get to spend yet, but we already planned to leave them as a specific reserve because their budget is not approved yet. Recommendations, yeah, just form work packages in the next grant application based on wanted expenses, never base projects that are just to satisfy the grant writer, spend the specific reserves in the right period and really spend them. We only spent 81%, we could have spent more, and develop the concept of investments, so how Esteem spends, take more time, ask more Esteemers, talk to local groups regarding certain investment ideas. Shortly for departments, as you can see, ADD is currently in a small minus, so which means that that amount will be taken from the retained earnings. So the department is not in a minus, but they are currently working this year. They currently worked with a minus, so that means that Lean Six Sigma, who is the main income source and expense reason for the department, had a lack of partners. This could be easily fixed. Lean Six Sigma has very nice value propositions, and with a little bit of effort and even adding up on some projects that the Lean Six Sigma CR responsible did last year could be very easy. And
please wrap it up.
Huh?
Please wrap it up if possible.
Okay, my presentation is back and I will wrap it up. Initiatives left as specific reserves. We will, the next board, I think you already spent them. CDD. We had a very big partner for Times, which was 6K. Very big income. Hopefully will be in the next year. Only a little bit problem of communication, but Times also has very nice value propositions. Wouldn't be hard to get partners there. And also there was a motion for semi-final support. It was fully spent, so the motion was successful. Yes, so we have receivables and payables. Payables being what Esteem owes, part of liabilities, and receivables what Esteem is owed. So in collaboration with the new VPF, we already took care of some payables. So if you maybe see your name here and you were taken care of, don't worry. And also, the only recommendation here is to keep it as low as possible so the cash flow in Esteem is not disrupt. For the balance sheet, it's finally balanced after many tears and sweat. And as you can see, Esteem has probably also very high equity from this year. And just to conclude on this presentation, not to talk too much, Esteem has in their specific reserve 69,000 nice euros. Which was a recommendation from the previous board, and we listened to them, we put the money. And if you look at some expenses from previous years, Esteem could live out of that money for maybe even 2 or 3 years, which means Esteem is financially safe even if black days do come. Biggest challenges, read about them in the financial report, I really have to hurry, but all of these very detailed inside. And thank you so much to my predecessors, to my board, and to my financial controllers. I love you so much. Mwah.
Before we have question time, we have another agenda point, an audit report, which is a video from Adrian Leonard and Beza Ovaliolu. What a name. So first, I would like to open agenda point 25, and then we will have the questions all together later. And sorry, there's a tree from David. He can quickly do the... Is there a microphone?
Hello everyone, I'm Beza Ovaliolu, and I will present you the audit report for last year's annual accounts. This is an extended version of the letter that has been sent to you, so I request you to pay close attention. Most esteemed 69th Council. During every fall council meeting, the financial controllers of Esteem present their findings regarding the annual accounts of the previous association year to inform you, the council, of the financial status of the network. We kindly request you to pay attention to this report, as it is the basis for understanding certain topics whose comprehension is essential to be an involved member of the network. We conducted the audit together with my colleague Adrian, and we are glad to inform you, the Council, that Esteem's financial stability was maintained in the last financial year. However, there were also certain challenges that increased the burden on the financial controllers and the Vice President of Finance, thereafter referred to as FCs and BPF respectively. In particular, it was difficult to construct a balance sheet due to BPF's struggles with the software used for Esteem's bookkeeping, Multiverse, certain inconsistencies in bookkeeping and communication problems that happened during the handover process. However, after careful work, these small mistakes were fixed, and we are finally confident to say that annual accounts of the financial year are accurate. Even though we did the checks together with Adrian, the advice for the next board comes solely from me to ensure impartiality. There are 4 points that will be beneficial to keep in mind to avoid the hardships we have faced this year. First of all, the handover and the usage of Multiverse has been purely mechanical, and the quality of the knowledge is deteriorating. To be fully transparent to the Council, we, this year's financial controllers, have never received a Multiverse handover from our predecessors, which slowed us down because we had to learn by trial and error. We were also informed by the VPF that she did not feel comfortable using the software. Moreover, it is revealed to be crucial that the VPFs and FCs need to be knowledgeable in accounting and bookkeeping to handle unfamiliar situations. Our advice for the next generations who are interested in those positions is to pay attention to these details to ensure everything is done correctly and in a timely manner. Moreover, it will be highly beneficial to digitize Multiverse handover to achieve a certain standard in financial knowledge management. Secondly, the structure of the department budgets complicate bookkeeping seriously. We urge the current board, department coordinators, and FCs to revise the value added of independent department budgets because the current structure may not be the optimal practice. Third, the declining trend in corporate relations continues. The relations with current partners are strained, and no significant new partnerships were established. On the other hand, the framework partnership with the European Union will continue for another year. As a result, the relative importance of CR and grants income should be reassessed by all stakeholders. Lastly, the cash transaction should be more carefully followed. It is more difficult to track cash, so more attention is needed to avoid complications, especially for the cash payments that happen in the beginning of the financial year when the VPF's handover has not been completed fully. Thank you for your attention. In conclusion, I hope we were able to show you the fun side of finances. Do not forget, finances are fun, fun, fun, and have a nice council meeting. If you have any questions, you can reach me through the phone number that you are seeing on the screen. You can just text me on WhatsApp. Have a nice day.
So, question time for agenda point 24, annual accounts, and agenda point 25, audit reports. I would also like to ask Adriaan Leonard to come on stage as one of the financial controllers of Tina's year. And yeah, just to remind you, we will vote on this tomorrow in closed voting. I see already 2 people standing up. Can we already get one of the microphones at least in that direction?
Technical?
First the 3, okay. Let's do it, David.
Okay, David Barrero, GCB. So for all presenters in this council meeting, the mic for presenting is a lavalier mic, so you don't have to put it so close to your mouth, so we don't hear so much noise. And always for not forget to turn it off when you leave it on the table. Okay, thank you.
Okay, then questions, Deco.
Yes. So, Deco Farha, LG Lappeenranta. My question is for Tina. You mentioned that CRC failed this year. And what I would like to ask is that what are the concrete reasons for this? Because that income that was lost was quite a substantial amount.
It is mentioned in the financial report quite transparently, of course, because we don't want to lie. A lot of it came from the decision, from my side, especially from the board, is that I wanted to put the responsibility of anything regarding CR to CRC committee, since that is also their mission. I was CRC leader the year before, so I understood that responsibility can be taken by the certain leaders, especially since I did trust certain individuals. But unfortunately, I cannot really state the true reasons because they were really external and private. So mostly here regarding STEAM were the biggest failure that the leaders were not present during the year as much, and then the team couldn't actually work on set projects and approaching and CRM and such. We started some projects, unfortunately they were also cut for the same reasons. Yeah, my advice to Adrian is just to then not maybe leave that much responsibility to CRC's hand, even though he has a very good leader in my opinion, but just to monitor a little bit more carefully than me.
Okay, but wasn't there another question? No? Oh, it's still there.
LG Braunschweig Echo. It was already answered by Deco's question and then by Tina.
Okay, all good. I also saw a question on Google Chats already, which is quite nice, that Adrian Vallejo asked, what is Multiverse? That's actually the bookkeeping software that we're using. It was mentioned quite many times, and also that it can be not all too user-friendly to use. So thanks for asking the question also online, but I also wanted to clarify it once more here. Are there, besides that, any other questions? Yeah, Deco. And then first Deco, then we go to Emir.
Yes, Deco for LG Lappeenranta. So you mentioned, this is just a follow-up question, in a sense, do you find it then sustainable? Because right now the main income is the grant, and the grant is not something that is 100% sure. So if we have a big problem currently, with, especially since the difference is quite substantial, so how do you see the future?
Well, for sure it's not sustainable, and this is definitely not a desirable situation. But on the other hand, we have a very big problem currently. Since it's only being implemented, we had a very big income that the team is not knowledgeable enough to use at this moment. So in a sense, I mean, it doesn't sound that well because the situation is really not good, but it did save Esteem a little bit from profiting too much because we don't want to also become tax eligible. I definitely would like more diversity in income, because only having from one source is not sustainable. It will never be sustainable. Even having for just CR or from just grants will never be sustainable. But to work on mostly now also on the spending plan, on the investments, that SDIN can handle such income, and also focus on the other hand on the diversity of income. But again, there is a very big paragraph in the report where we talk about the workload of the VPF that has, because of these reasons, went very, very, very high. So it should also be talked about, but that's up to the board, of course.
Okay, I think your question was answered quite elaborately, so very nice. Let's go to Emir.
Emir Mut from LG Istanbul Yıldız. Actually, my question is for Adrian. Like, considering the work between TINA and CRC last year, how do you plan to keep up with CRC? I mean, like, do you have a strategy not to have the same situation as last year?
Indeed, we started the year by reshaping the committee and trying a new approach. We also, trying to implement quite a new process in CRC, and I do believe also that I will pay a high attention to the motivation of the leader during the year and so on. Does it answer your question?
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a very good question, but let's try to keep it on the annual accounts of TINA. You could put this on Google Chat on the corporate relations report, but still a very good question, so thanks for that. Do we have any other questions about the annual accounts, audit report? No. Okay. Very nice, very well explained as well. Then, you can take your seat again, and I will close the agenda point. So first I would like to close agenda point 24, annual accounts of the previous year. Then I would like to close agenda point 25, audit reports on the previous year by the financial controllers. Then I open agenda point 26, miscellaneous. Do we have any other questions from the people in the council, something that's not related to a topic we discussed? I see Eric standing over here. Yeah, let's get a mic over here.
Hello? No, it works. Eric Victor Pemejasiński from local group Gothenburg. More an announcement, miscellaneous announcement that the Esteem trading card game cards have arrived. I will be sorting them in the back tomorrow. If someone would like to, they can help me doing that sorting, while of course paying close attention. And you will be getting the cards during the Esteem fair, because many of you asked. Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification, Eric. It went quite fast, but for the trading cards, you can get them at the Esteem fair, and Eric will also take care of it tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Any other questions? If not, or David? No? He was just checking the mic, also fine. Okay, amazing. We survived today. It was quite a full and busy day, but definitely kudos to everyone that could stay awake most of the time, or even participated with very nice and interesting questions. So first of all, thanks a lot for your participation and for your questions. We can clap. And then I would, sorry, I even have to still close the agenda point, my bad. Yeah, but there will still be an announcement, we don't need an agenda point for that. So therefore I will close agenda point 26, miscellaneous, and I would still would like Aloncito on stage for an organizational announcement.
Thank you, Max. So we are going to have dinner now after we close everything here. Dinner is going to be at the same place as dinner was yesterday. Same door, same thing, same whatever. You can anyways find organizers and whatever. But this time it's not like a snack as yesterday. is going to be divided and organized by some organizers waiting there to serve, to put the food in the plates. It's divided in the different diets that you have. It's going to be 2 tables, regular, then vegan, then gluten-free. So they're going to have like some posts over there. So you just got to go there and say, hey, I'm this, and they're going to put the thing. And nothing, that's all. That's not all. Whenever we finish, you can either go to the party place, grab some beers or something. We should be there like at 9:30. Or you can also go directly to the hostels. Organizers are with the bus thing or whatever. So it's on you, whatever you want to do.
Sorry, please wait for a little bit. I see a technical over there. Do we still have mics?